G'day everybody, welcome to Frank's Backyard Cooking. This is my first ever YouTube cooking segment, hopefully one of many to come in the future. And I just want to share with you one of my all-time favorites. It's a very simple dish. It's basically spaghetti with pipis and fresh herbs and reduced cream. And just a little about my background before we get started. I'm a qualified chef for over 30 years, worked in various sectors in the hospitality industry. And for the past 7 years, I've been teaching commercial cookery and hospitality to future young chefs. And there's nothing more rewarding than seeing future chefs grow and mature. So let's get started. Now, the dish itself only comprises of a handful of ingredients. It's very simple. It's pipis, they're still alive, fresh herbs to refresh the dish at the end to finish it off, quality extra virgin olive oil, salt, onions, a little hot chili, depending on how hot you like it. This is quite a hot chili. And garlic, cream. You can either use thickened cream or pure cream. It does not matter at all. Pure cream is just thinner, but it is wholesome, it is pure. There's no thickeners. So the cooking time is just, the reducing time is just going to take a little bit longer, that's about it. And the secret ingredient, dashi granules. Dashi is basically a Japanese ingredient. It's used in many dishes. It's comprised of dried bonito, and then it is either shaved and served. This particular one is a ground, or it's a granules. And please, very important, use good quality pasta. Okay, very important. There's a big difference in the, between brands. I'm not going to promote any brands, but go after a good brand. Okay, so without further ado, let's start. I'm going to be cooking for two. I never cook for one, minimum two. There's probably about 4 tablespoons of olive oil in there. Now for 2 people, I'm going to be using one, depending on the size of the onion. Probably get away with just using 1 onion, okay? So this is a medium-sized onion, just one. First thing I ever do with onions is I cut the top and bottom, or top and tail. Then that way it's nice and secure, it's not going to rock. Cut it through the middle. Okay, we're going to thinly slice the onions. The onions are going to break down, so the size, you don't have to do brunoise or fine dice. Basically just fine slicing. The onions, when they cook down, they're going to caramelize, they're going to add the sweetness and the body to the dish. Very important, always use a good quality sharp knife. Less prone to having accidents. Onions are done. Next, our garlic. Again, just cut the top only, and then just bang it. The skin will come loose. There you go, peeled already. A little bit windy today. That's a second garlic. And with the garlic, this was quite a large one. Really thinly sliced. So next is the chili. These are extremely hot chilies. So because I'm only going to cooking for 2 people or 2 serves, I'm going to be using 1 large chili. Just cut it through the middle. It just takes the dish to the next level. Next, the herbs. Here I have continental parsley from my garden. I got a bit of Greek basil. I got a bit of sweet basil and ruby or purple basil, or some people call it opal basil. So what we do, we just fine chop these. Again, you want to be using a sharp knife. Otherwise, if the knife is not sharp, you're going to be bruising the herbs. Herbs are ready. Just make sure all the ingredients are ready. I got salt. I always like to balance the dish with a pinch of sugar at the end. Some dishes don't need it, some do. So I just got it handy just in case. Okay, let's start. Let's start cooking. Number one, bit of olive oil, thinly sliced onions. Even when I cook curries, I just thinly slice the onions. Water's already boiling. I'm going to put half a packet of pasta in there. Salt. I like to put lots of salt in my pasta. More the merrier. It should actually taste like the salt of the sea. You can put our garlic in now. You don't want to be putting the chilies in too early. The heat will just evaporate. It'll make you cough, sneeze, and the heat will just escape. So I like to put the chili towards the end. Retain more heat as possible. Now here's a little trick. Put a bit of water. It'll stop the onions from burning. And put the lid back on. Get the steam to help break down the onions and soften the onions much quicker. This will greatly increase your cooking time. Onions are nearly there. Once the onions are, broken down, once they cook, we then add our cream, and then we can add our chili. We can add our dashi. We can adjust the consistency of the sauce, and then once it's nearly there, we can add the pipis. Once the pipis open up, they're pretty much ready. I try not to put any excess salt on this. Always taste your food first when you're cooking mollusks like pipis, wongole, because they do still contain seawater inside them, and seawater being salty, you don't want to have your food too salty. That's it. Onions ready. Time for cream. Probably about 300 mils. Chilies. And dashi. Dashi, probably about 3/4 of a tablespoon or so. You can always add more, but if it's too strong or too salty, you can't actually do much about it. So always add a little at the beginning, taste it, and adjust it accordingly. At this point, you don't want to cover it because you want the cream to reduce. Pasta's been cooking for about 3 minutes or so now. It's important to cook the pasta to al dente, because what's going to happen is, because you're going to be serving it directly into the sauce, there's going to be residual heat, which is still going to cook the pasta. There's nothing worse than overcooked pasta. Okay, as you can see, the color of the cream has changed. It's gone a little bit darker. It's reduced. Otherwise, it's just going to taste like hot milk. This is when you get the flavor out of the cream. It needs to reduce. At this point, we put in our pipis. There's roughly about 400 grams there. At this point, you want to put the lid back on, create a bit of steam, trap the heat, and the pipis will open up. Once they're open up, we can taste the sauce, and we'll check on our pasta. We should be pretty much ready now. Just grab one little piece. Yep. About 30 seconds, 1 minute on the pasta at the most. Okay, we're just going to see if they've opened up. As you can see, most of them have opened up. There's a few more that hasn't opened. Just give it another 30 seconds. Pasta is ready. We'll drain our pasta. Pipis are ready. Let's give it a taste. Wow, packed full of flavor. Just the right amount of heat, not overpowering. Lot of good flavors there. So simple. Now we're going to turn it off. Add our chopped herbs just to refresh the dish. Throw in our pasta. Now we're ready to serve our dish. Just going to serve one plate at the moment. And get some pipis in there. For those who haven't tried pipis, they've got a beautiful, subtle, sweet flavor, very fresh. And a little bit of the sauce. There we have it. Enjoy.